Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got Winterborn and Break Another Day. Firstly, thank you to the band for sending me this album early. It's coming out on March the 15th, so not a long time to wait. Only this Friday coming. It's coming out on RFL Entertainment. This is a melodic, now this is how it's described in the promo that was sent to me. It says they're a melodic power metal band. I would agree with that on some elements, but there's so much more than that. I'm going to get onto the songs, but there's so much more than that. Some proggy elements in this band. There's some AOR, melodic rock elements. It's catchy hooks time across this album, but heaviness at the same time. There's so much to unwrap and tell you about with this album, but let me tell you guys, I mean, there's been some great, comments under a couple of the reactions I did to the singles leading up to this album release. And you'll find loads to love on this album throughout. And there's variety as well. It's a really interesting listen. A lot to unravel, but remember, it's all in that hard rock and metal vein. This is a quality album. Really cool progressive moments as well across this album. We'll get onto that as well. But this band are amazing. They're from Finland. They've been on a 15-year hiatus. I mean, 15 years. I haven't heard of this band before, I've got to say, but I'm glad I've heard of them now. The Cold Reality came out in 2006. That was their last album. This album has 11 tracks. 5 singles have been released so far, leading up to this album coming out. I've missed 3 of them. I've only heard 2 of them, but obviously now I've heard the album. Perfect name for the band as well, Winterborn. Perfect, because they have this sort of dark feel about them, and it's the perfect name because they're dark, they're atmospheric, but also, with all the darkness and atmosphere running through their music, there is some real uplifting, soaring elements throughout as well. They cover a lot of ground, like I said: metal, melodic rock, a bit of AOR, some prog, even some little poppy elements sometimes, which I'll get onto. Don't worry, it's not a pop album, by the way. Pop means popular. It means it's catchy. That's what it means. Very original sound. Some 70s prog at times coming through, and some real modern metal and dark power metal as well. So when I mentioned power metal, don't want people to think this band doesn't sound like Helloween or anything like that. They're not that fast, ticky-tacky Helloween sort of happy-go-lucky sort of stuff. But it definitely does fall into that power metal, especially on certain tracks. So there's quite a lot to uncover as the names in the band as well. There's a lot of musicians on this album. You've got Teemu Koskela on the vocals. Now, there's some vocalists I'm just blown away with. This guy... And there's so much to this guy's vocal. He's got this full-blown metal voice that just, man, it's like almost, a Jon Londe Dio-esque sort of voice that when he reaches. And then he's got this really subtle, smooth, like low end to his vocals as well. Loads of different sides to his vocals. A real, interesting listen alone just for vocal. If you love your vocals and you love something interesting to listen to, this guy just has all the bases covered. Amazing. Then you've got Antti Hokala on the guitar and Pasi Vapola on the guitar. Very guitar driven album. Guitars throughout, although there's lots of other, elements to it as well. The guitars are right up there in the mix. So don't worry guys, you've got a metal album here for sure. And some amazing guitar playing. Like I said, they're proggy at times, so there's some real intricate stuff going on. Sometimes they shred, sometimes they chug, sometimes they riff the hell out of this album. Then you've got Jukka Hänninen on the keys, and another person, Henrik Klin Genberg, on the keys as well, adding some elements. But the keyboard work across this, the synth work, is just top notch. And they've got this atmosphere, like I said, and the name of the band and the way they portray this Winterborn atmosphere, if you like. The keys are a massive element to that sound. They bring a fullness, they bring a darkness to it. Great synth work across this album. You've got the rhythm section, which is Pasi Kurpinen and Lori Bexa. Pasi on the bass and Lori on the drums. So, I mean, man, we've already mentioned the prog elements as well, so you've got to be an amazing musician to do any sort of prog elements in your band, but really thumping rhythm section, just perfect. The band are super talented, they really are. Sort of come out of nowhere really for me, this album, you know, and they've been away for so long. I haven't heard the first album, but let me tell you, this album is it's not just technically brilliant, the songs are brilliant, and that's what it's all about. So going through the tracks on the album, my favorite tracks, you start off with Another Sleepless Night, single. First time I heard this band actually, so this is my first reaction when I was just blown away. An amazing start to the album. The first thing I noticed when I first listened to this song was the huge epic sound that the band have. Everything's like on a huge grand scale. The synth work on this one really adding to the epic sound of the band. It's metal on a grand scale with so much emotion, but so much more than that as well. Guitars crunch, rhythms drive the song, and the powerhouse vocals just deliver the perfect and catchy opener. Amazing song. And you've got the track Satellite. This band is such an original band as it highlights on this track. The band sort of delivers a song that has sort of 80s pop feels, but with heavy metal riffs. It's just mental, and I think that's brought on mainly helped by Teemu's vocal delivery in this particular song, especially in the verses. He's got this deep vocal that's just amazing. Synths are used to really give that fullness to the track as well. The chorus just soars, and it's all about that hook on this song. It really is that the band they're working towards this hook in the chorus, and it just works perfectly. It delivers effortlessly. The chorus on this song will just be in your head long after you've listened to it. It's amazing. Next track I want to talk about is For the First Time Ever. This is a ballad. Acoustic guitar and a sax. I think it's the synths making like a sax sound. It could be an actual saxophone, but I can't see anything on the promo that was sent to me to say anyone's playing a sax. I think it's an effect from the synths. But it's a bit weird lately. I've loved hearing sax on an album. It's just amazing. And hearing Teemu's vocals in almost isolation at the beginning of this song is really something special. It really is. The power and control that he has is something to really be impressed with. Just past the halfway mark, the band sort of kick in, but slightly understated. You know, they don't come in fully. The guitars are down in the mix a little bit to keep it in that ballad territory. An emotional guitar solo though tops off what is an amazing ballad. Then we get on to the latest single, Winterborn. What an amazing track this is. 6.5 minutes long. Some modern Queensryche feels sort of run through this track, and it's a brilliant galloping metal song. The guitars are introduced in stages, if you like really giving you a sense of build up. They come in very quietly at the beginning, and then you can feel it building up through the song. It builds to a really epic conclusion. Brilliant songwriting, amazing songwriting. This is what really makes this song a highlight for me. Is sort of, they take their time, and when the song gets there, the reward is really paid off. Amazing track. Washed Away by Tide is the next song. This was a single. I missed this one. So the band venture into classic rock territory, I would say, a little bit here. The synths take a bit of a back step in most of this song. Almost have a 70s rock feel to me. More stripped back. The song has a sort of like a bit of a live feel, I would say, almost like a classic Rainbow track or something like that. And Teemu in full metal vocal here. Next up is Now or Never, another single that I missed, obviously. A brilliant melodic rock track, pure melodic rock. From the opening guitar melody, this song really is a standout for me. You can see why it was a single as well. Teemu in that sort of soothing vocal range in the verses, and then just opening up in an epic soaring chorus. The versatility in the band as well is really something special. Whatever they play their hand at, they really nail it every time. An absolute belter of an AOR track. Into the Shades of Grey. This is another ballad, sort of a ballad. It's almost like a folky 70s rock infused ballad, I would say. The song just glides along with acoustic guitars sort of being the main focus point here. Electric guitars do get introduced throughout, but the mellow feel of the song is like a constant throughout the song. A beautiful prog infused track. Next up is Moon from the Sky, a really sort of cool prog-infused melodic rock track this time. Some outstanding technical playing throughout, but it sort of never takes over the hook of the song. The song is one of the catchiest songs on here, but you've got those prog elements throughout. So clever that the song is just so busy like that, but the hooks are all over it, making it one of the catchiest tracks on the album. Then I want to talk about Through Different Eyes. This is the last track of the album. This is 7 minutes long, I think the longest track. Sort of a cinematic, epic track to end the album. For 2 minutes we get to hear Teemu's brilliant vocals with those orchestral elements, and the band crash in, and the epic nature continues and carries on with a huge sounding song. The perfect way to end the album. We have all the elements that the band have shown us sort of culminating perfectly into this amazing closer. So that's it, guys. That's my review of Winterborn's new album, Break Another Day. I'm amazed about how good this band are. I really am. If you really want to hear some different elements throughout the album, but staying in that sort of heavy rock metal guys, you're going to love this album. It's such an interesting listen. There's so much to unpack, and you could be blown away by the musicianship and blown away by the hooks throughout as well. So that's what it gives you. It gives you a bit of everything, this album. I love this album, guys. I really recommend this to you guys. Winterborn, Break Another Day. Let me know if you're going to get it in the comments below, please. And I'll see you soon.